I'm Tara Joseph, looking at the week ahead in Asia with Wayne Arnold, who's the economics and markets editor for Asia here at Reuters. And Wayne, end of the year, let's look way ahead to risks and the 7 black swans, starting with number 7.
Okay, the 7 black swans, assuming this Christmas season. Okay, let's do this. Let's try with 7. I'm going to go with India. India's had a really tough 2012. I think 2013, possibly even worse if reforms don't gain traction and stoke investment and growth. That would be a problem for them.
6.
Number 6, let's pop over to Europe. Now, Europe's been kind of quiet. We haven't heard much from them, although we've heard of Italian elections, Berlusconi coming back into the picture.
That's a worry.
Yeah, it's always a worry. A little more bunga-bunga going on, but also maybe some bunga-bunga in its bond markets come May when we've had our seasonal euro crisis. And so if we can get through May without one, keep your fingers crossed that happens.
India, Europe, 5.
All right, let's go for China. China has started to come back out of the woods after a little bit of a question mark over the pace of its growth. Now, there's 2 solutions to this as they go into March and elect their new leadership and actually name them as they will in March. There's step on the accelerator and try and use government spending to boost infrastructure and keep growth high, which could be disastrous if it causes a credit blowout. Or B, step on the brakes and try to restructure the economy. Also not so good if it goes wrong and tamps down growth for all of Asia.
Now, we've covered half of the world. We're on to number 4. What are we missing?
We got more. Japan. Right? Big story this week. New government wants to get the Bank of Japan, the central bank, to print money and stoke growth and revive inflation. Danger there is what the Bank of Japan worries about. If they do that, bond yields shoot up, the currency dives, and they turn into Greece times 11.
Japan printing money. Let's move on to number 3. I guess lots of people are printing money.
Yeah, well, this is the trend. I mean, you've got central banks, 14 of them around the world, including some of the largest, the Fed, the ECB, the People's Bank of China, and the Bank of Japan, now in some way, shape, or form trying to print money to get their economies really rolling again. The problem is they cancel each other out.
So printing bonanza, is that the risk?
Yeah, they could try to get into a currency war, we call it, where they keep trying to print money and drive their currency down so they can gin up their exports, and everyone just starts to fight, and it's a race to the bottom.
We're getting to the big ones. What's the second biggest risk?
The second risk is really attendant to that. It's that all this money has to go somewhere. It just starts sloshing around. We've seen this. It's called hot money, and it goes to somewhere. Like the Fed's found that you can print this money, that doesn't mean that people will lend it or borrow it.
Let me guess, it's coming to Asia.
Yeah, they'll send it to Asia.
Is that a risk?
It's a huge risk because you get all this money pumping in. It starts to build up a bubble in the bond market, we've already started to see. People can get money too cheaply. They start investing in stupid things, right? Products that aren't profitable should get off the ground, and then if those start to blow up, you can get a crisis in Asia, and the money goes the other way and causes these economies a world of pain.
Crisis in Asia, not a happy thought. What's the biggest risk going forward?
This is a no-brainer. You know, this is this week. You go to Washington, you look at what's happening on the Hill. We've got a fiscal cliff looming, and the real problem with this is that these guys can't seem to reach an agreement. They're playing a game of chicken. Nobody wants the one that pushes the U.S. over the fiscal cliff, and no one wants to be the one that gives in. So they're going to play this game until it's very, very, very end. In the meantime, the markets are spinning on this, right?
They're spinning today.
Right, they're spinning today. So the danger, of course, is that even if they find a solution, the solution is tax hikes and cuts, which means it's going to put a damper on U.S. growth in 2013. So the first half is actually looking pretty weak. The best we could hope for is that the U.S. economy maintains its own innate strength in the second half and pulls the rest of the global economy forward with it. Until then, could be the black swans are going to be swimming around the markets all over the place.
There we go. We've covered the world in 7 black swans. A big year ahead.
Yes,
Wayne, thanks very much.
Record time.